My first year in real estate did not go as planned. When I first got my license, I wanted to make hundreds of thousands of dollars and close so many deals, but that's just not the way the dominoes fell. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video. Day 16 out of 100. I hope you guys have been enjoying the content so far. Today we're going to do something a little bit different, something that I haven't really done yet. I'm going to try to be as raw and uncut as possible in this. I'm going to be telling the story of my experience as a real estate agent in my first year. I was balancing quite a few things, still wasn't 200% sure what I wanted to do and if this was what I wanted to pursue full-time as like a career. Obviously now we know that it is, but in my 21, 22-year-old head, I still wasn't 100% sure. Some of the stuff that you'll hear in this video will help you get inside my mind and see why I wasn't so sure. I said this in my first video. When I started, I actually was an ISA, an inside sales agent for a big team in my office. We're not going to talk about that part because although I was technically a licensed agent at that point, I wasn't working as an agent, so I'm not going to count that in this. Completely different job. It would have been November of 2020 when I actually started to work as a real estate agent. Immediately went to one of the top teams in my area and I was super excited. I set all these giant goals. I just knew that I was going to do everything that I set out to do. I was so motivated. You know, all I could think about every day was the huge potential that I had in this business, and that if I wanted to do this, I really needed to hit the goals and to put in all the work so that I could prove to myself that this was what I was good at and what I wanted to do, and also prove that to everybody else so I could get more business. But let's just say the first year did not go as planned. I used to have a problem being younger. I've always been very goal oriented, and I say being younger as if this was forever ago. Would have been 21, maybe 22 years old. I'm 24, almost 25 now. So it really isn't that long, but you learn so much in such a short period of time when you start working in business and working as a self-employed individual that you grow massively, more than you definitely think you can. I'm definitely saying that from experience, and it kind of just feels like forever ago now. I feel like I've been doing this for a long time. As soon as I got into the role where I was finally working as a real estate agent, doing what I set out to do, I set these giant goals, and I don't want to say giant because to a lot of people they probably won't sound that big. To a lot of agents, they're like, yeah, I hit those numbers. But I think for a first year agent, I really set the bar pretty high for myself. And before I go any further than that, quick side note, you should set super high goals. You should set goals that you maybe don't believe are actually attainable. But the most important part is not necessarily setting the goal, but then taking the action to hit the goal. My problem as a young agent, as a young business owner, as a young entrepreneur was that I was so focused on the end. All I could think about, all I could see was this number that I had in my head. I was so excited because I did have the opportunity to make X amount of money. I did have the opportunity to close X amount of deals, but when that's all you're thinking about, it's not going to happen. You got to think about what you can do now to get you to that point. But I wasn't doing that. I was just thinking about that. Just like, yeah, I got my license. This is what I want to do this year, so I'm going to do it. And the realities of being a first-year real estate agent and of being a 21, 22-year-old real estate agent and of not putting in the work that I should have smacked me right in the face. I don't remember exactly what the number is, but I know that I probably wanted to close somewhere in between 20 and 30 deals in my first year as an agent. And again, you'll hear about many agents who do that and more. But everybody's circumstance is different, and mine just was not that. I was still in college at this time. I was working also as a journalist for Rivals.com and Yahoo Sports. So I had my hands full, but I knew in the back of my head that real estate was what I wanted to devote most of my time to. So once again, I told myself, you're going to sell 30 houses this year. You're going to make over 100 grand this year. You're going to be making all this money at such a young age, and it's just going to be a fantastic experience. And again, looking back at it now, I don't think the problem was that I had too high of a goal, because there are people who've hit that number and more. The biggest issue is that I didn't put in the work to hit that goal. Don't get me wrong, when I had business, I gave those clients white glove service. That's something that I pride myself on. I'm always going to bust tail to make sure that all my people have the best experience possible. I wasn't doing what I should have been doing to generate new business. I was kind of just taking what was coming to me and not going out of my way to try to get anything else. When you're 21 years old and you close a deal and you get a check that's maybe a few $1,000s, we'll call it $5,000, you're like, I can do anything. I got all the money in the world. I mean, it seems like a lot at the time. And because of that, at least for myself, I think I fell into somewhat of a place of complacency. I want to say 4 or 5 deals in my first year as an agent. So my goal went from probably 30, I think was the number I had realistically in my head, if my memory serves me well, to 4 or 5 deals in my first year. I think the most expensive house that I sold that year was $240,000. I think I did two deals that year that were right around 240. So even the deals that I was doing wasn't at a super high price point, but at the time, those closings and those checks felt astronomical to me. In total, after paying my brokerage, paying the teams that I worked for, I probably made only around $10,000 to $12,000 that year. Thank God the business has grown since then. Thank God I learned that you can't really focus on the goal and you got to focus on the input, what you're doing every day. And as long as you do that, everything's going to fall into place. I was having a conversation with my coach at the beginning of this year, and it's pretty crazy how much my mind has changed surrounding all that stuff. I'm still a numbers driven person, but again, I used to focus only on the end number. I never focused on the now numbers, the numbers that are important to get me to that end number. And when I had that conversation with my coach, I remember saying, I don't care about how much I make. I don't care how many deals I do. What I care about is the work that I put in. I know that if being a real estate agent is God's plan for me, then as long as I'm doing the work that I should be doing, he's going to take care of the rest. And thank God he has. Top 20%, nearly top 10% in my office right now out of over 300 agents. I'm so thankful for God's provision and for the continued growth of the business and continued trust that people have put in me for such a huge investment. Because if I was making $10,000 or $12,000 a year, I wouldn't be making this video. Simple as that. I just wouldn't. I don't know what I'd be doing, but the reason that I work hard every day now, the reason that I'm posting 100 videos in 100 days, the reason that I'm doing everything that I'm doing is so I don't have to worry about that. Real estate is a tough gig, guys. It's not what you see on HGTV. It's not what you see from a lot of these other real estate YouTubers. It just ain't that. Is the earning potential high? Absolutely. You have most of the control over your schedule. Yes, your schedule's up to your clients as much as it is yourself. Is the potential there to crush your goals and create a great life for yourself and for all the people that you care about? 100%. But you've got to focus on the input, and that is what I was not doing at all for my first year, heck, maybe even my first year and a half, 2 years in this business. I say it all the time, but I truly am so thankful for anybody who supports me, whether it's just watching these videos, showing love on social media, of course, using me as their agent or referring me to someone else as their agent. All that stuff means more to me than I can ever describe. If you're thinking about becoming a real estate agent and want to talk to somebody about what that first year looks like and how you can have a better year than I did, I'd say I'm probably a pretty good person to talk to. You're definitely welcome to reach out. If you're somebody who's looking to make a move in the state of Georgia, of course, reach out. I ain't hard to find. Tomorrow we're actually going to be doing a similar style video, sharing some experiences that I've had in the business. We're going to talk about some victories though, instead of some, I guess you could say, failures. Failure is a good thing though, and you learn that as you grow in business. But tomorrow we're going to be talking about some wins that I've had so far in real estate. I can't wait to share those with you as well. I thought before I brag on myself a little bit, I better come out, show some humility, and talk about how difficult my first year as a real estate agent truly was. Regardless, I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. It would mean a lot to me. We're putting in so much work on YouTube, and seeing any sort of growth in the numbers just puts a smile on my face. But I hope you enjoyed today's video, and I will see you again tomorrow.